State, and we continue with our coverage of the Zimbabwe 2023 elections. And this week, there was a worrying trend on top of the banning of the CCC rallies that I talked about last week. We have seen a new trend developing where ZANU-PF members are now going to the venues where CCC are holding their gatherings or rallies and then interfering with those gatherings or rallies. We've seen an incident where ZANU-PF members actually drove a truck with speakers and they parked right at the middle of the rally of the CCC, or the grounds where the CCC were gathered, and they started playing the music for their candidate at that venue instead of what was happening there. So there was a clear disruption. We've also seen disruption in Gokwe, where CCC members were attacked, and unfortunately there was some retaliation and a few ZANU-PF members were injured. And then we also saw an incident where police actually went to a place where the CCC members were gathered and removed the speaker, the person who was speaking, took him away from the gathering while he was still speaking, leaving the people who were gathered there wondering what is going on. So I'm just highlighting this because it is worrying, because we are starting to see violence. Violence is very dangerous during elections in Zimbabwe. It should not be encouraged. It should be discouraged and heavily criticized by everyone across the country, because in the past we have seen violence turning deadly and disrupting the lives of people. And this is something that should not happen, especially in this day and age where we are. Zimbabwe is entering a period where we should be enjoying peace and tranquility. And I personally do not like violence. I abhor violence. I've seen what it does to people, especially during elections. Violence affected a lot of people in my villages, in my area, and also in many other places in 2008. And up to this day, there are people with scars from this violence from the past. So we need to nip this in the bud. All the political leaders, especially the guys from ZANU-PF, they need to speak against violence. They don't need to take this lightly, because it will affect the country in terms of investment, in terms of the positive image that the president has been trying to build all along. So violence should be discouraged. It's not benefiting anybody, and it will never benefit anyone. You will never win an election because of violence. And this is one thing that should be made clear within the structures of the parties, both the CCC and the ZANU-PF. No one should be dying or getting injured for elections. So this is something that I would like to see the party leadership addressing, and it needs to be sorted out now before the actual temperatures start to rise, because you know what is going to happen. Within the next 3 months, temperatures are going to rise in Zimbabwe, and we don't want to see anyone dying, because this is where this is going. You know what happens in Zimbabwe when elections are closer. The temperatures and the emotions really rise. So that is the key point I wanted to address today. We'll be back again tomorrow looking at the elections, and as we head towards Friday, a key day when the delimitation processes are going to be gazetted by President Mnangagwa. Thank you very much.